Today we're going to discuss the 8in1 machine, usage, and some tips and tricks on maintaining the machine itself. The biggest difference between this machine and other ones is, well, first of all, everything is in one machine. So you've got it all right here for you. You're not having to run and get different items to use during your service. The other big difference is going to be how you utilize the steamer, because it is a little different than most other steamers. The first thing is that you have a 2-button system. So you've got your toggle on and off switch, which is a little green button, and then you have your timer. This timer will ding once it's finished. The downside to this timer is that if you run out of water in your beaker and this timer is still going and the button is still on, you're going to continue to have heat with the machine. What happens with that is if there is no water in the beaker, then you're going to break the filaments of the steamer. Either they're going to crack and it won't work at all, or it's going to start flaking pieces of metal off into the beaker, which then can translate to a guest's skin. So we don't want that. So when you're using it, you have to make sure that as soon as you're finished with it, or as soon as you know it's not steaming anymore, you turn off the timer and the toggle button. Don't just let it run its course. With the beaker, the nice thing is it does have a handle. So it makes it very easy to remove this. I still would not recommend doing it while it's hot, so give the machine about 30 minutes, but you do have the handle, which makes it a lot easier to handle it than other steamers where it's just the clear glass jar. It does still have a minimum and a maximum line, so you still don't want to fill it above the maximum line, or it can spit on someone and end up burning them. But other than that, the handle makes it really easy to use. You're still going to seat it up into its position, put the adjustable arm underneath it, and tighten it to make sure that it is tight. Now, with this steamer, a lot of people don't know, on the back side, there's this little adjustable knob right here. This is actually what you're going to use to move the arm back and forth. And as you can hear, it's a little tight. So you want to make sure you're unscrewing that before you move this, because if you don't, if it's tight and you go to try to move it, it's not really going to move and you're going to force it and end up breaking the arm. So just really make sure you're using this dial in the back. And then if it does get a little squeaky, you have a couple options. WD-40 works great, or in a pinch you can use some massage oil. Just put a little dab in there and it'll help to oil up the gear. With your steamer, it doesn't have its own separate cord, so you don't have to worry about wrapping it. The cord is contained within the entire unit, so that makes it really nice. Other items on the steamer and mag lamp combo, you've got your 8in1, so you have all of your other systems as well, your vacuum, your spray, your galvanic, your high frequency. I wouldn't recommend keeping all of those cords on here because it's just a lot of stuff. It's not sanitary to have them out all the time, and you're gonna have cords dangling, which can create a big mess. On this machine, I typically will only see the high frequency attached. This one was actually just used, so the high frequency is still here. I would still recommend when you're finished with it, unplug it, wrap it up, and put it away. The cords, if they're left out, can get kinked up, so it's just a lot safer and will maintain the machine longer if you wrap it and put it away. Now with this one, because it has everything in one machine, the only downside is if one thing breaks, everything breaks. So if something is not working properly, you have to let someone know so we can figure out if it's a fuse issue or if it's a machine issue. Fuses do burn out, it's just how machines are, so they're very easy to replace. We just need to be able to know what's going on. With your mag lamp, the nice thing about this mag lamp is it, again, is attached to the machine. It does have its own on and off switch, which I really like. One thing I would recommend with this mag lamp is, just like every other mag lamp, make sure you're loosening the button here before you try to move this, but whenever it's at rest, leave the button unscrewed. It just helps it to hang a little bit easier. Because this machine is all in one, your cord is going to be for the entire machine, so it's up to you if you want to wrap it around the mag lamp or not. I would still recommend doing it just because it will keep the mag lamp arm from unhinging itself and moving. But again, wrap it loosely so that it does not hurt the cord. When moving this, like every other piece of equipment in your spa, you should have 2 points of contact. You'll have your base and then you can move it by the top. I wouldn't grab this arm or this arm to move it because that's when you end up either toppling the whole machine over or breaking one of the arms. This is a bigger unit, so you do want to be cautious when moving it because it does take up more space and you have to be more aware of where you're moving it so you're not bumping into everything, causing disruptions in the spa department. So I always recommend grabbing both of your machines here because they are independently swinging, and your foot and moving it this way. It just gives you more control, and then that way you don't have to worry about hitting anybody or breaking anything. I hope this has been helpful for you. Thanks.